Today's video, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins among collectors, the 1977 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it's just a simple copper cent. But don't be fooled, this coin hides secrets that could make your jaw drop. Some 1977 Lincoln cents are worth tens of thousands, and one recently sold for a mind-blowing $222,671. That's right, a 1-cent coin, worth more than a luxury car or even a house. So grab your magnifying glass, coin album, or just your curiosity, because we're going to uncover everything: the history, the hidden errors, the mint marks, and the current market values of the 1977 Lincoln penny. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of a symbolic image. The obverse of the penny proudly carries Lincoln's portrait, a design that has stood the test of time for more than a century. Fast forward to 1977, and the Lincoln penny was still made mostly of copper, about 95% copper and 5% zinc. It was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark, for proof coins. The coin weighs 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19 millimeters, and features the words, "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the date 1977 on the front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the back. While millions of these pennies were produced, what makes certain ones special is a combination of minting errors, rare variations, and perfect condition. And that's where things start to get exciting. Now let's talk about value, the part every collector loves. A normal 1977 Lincoln penny, if it's been in circulation, might only be worth 1 cent, but the story changes completely when you look at uncirculated or error coins. For example, a 1977 Lincoln penny with no mint mark in pristine MS.65 red condition can be worth anywhere from $30 to $200. If you have one in even higher grade, like MS.67 red, the value jumps dramatically, with auction records reaching over $2,500. The 1977 D. Denver Mint penny also holds solid collector interest. In average condition, it's just pocket change. But in top grade, like MS.67 or MS.68 red, it has fetched $1,000 to $3,000 at auctions. Now, the 1977 S-proof penny, struck only for collectors, can be worth around $10 to $50 depending on its grade and shine, but the real treasure lies in the rare error varieties. Some 1977 pennies were struck off-center, double-struck, or even on the wrong planchet, and these errors can send prices skyrocketing. One of the most valuable examples ever recorded is a 1977 Lincoln penny with a dramatic double die obverse, where Lincoln's features and inscriptions are clearly doubled. Another is the off-metal error, where the penny was mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, making it lighter, shinier, and extremely collectible. It was one of these extraordinary errors that made headlines when a 1977 Lincoln cent sold for over $222,671 at auction. Imagine finding one of those in your change jar. Let's explore why collectors and investors are willing to pay such huge sums for a simple cent. First, rarity. Most pennies are mass-produced, but when a tiny number come out with unique minting errors, they become one of a kind. That's what drives collectors crazy, owning something that almost no one else has. Second, condition. The grading scale for coins runs from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. If your 1977 penny still shines with its original luster, has no scratches, and looks freshly minted, you could be holding a fortune. Third, historical appeal. The Lincoln penny is a symbol of American endurance, freedom, and leadership. Collectors worldwide are drawn to coins that tell a story, and the 1977 penny sits right in the middle of a fascinating era of U.S. minting history, just before the metal composition changed in the 1980s due to rising copper prices. Now, how can you tell if your 1977 penny might be valuable? Here's what to look for. Check the mint mark under the date. No mark means Philadelphia, D means Denver, and S means San Francisco. Use a magnifying glass or microscope to check for doubling on the words Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, or the date. Look for off-center strikes, misaligned dies, or clipped planchets, check the color and luster. A bright red penny often holds the highest value, and finally, weigh it. A standard 1977 copper penny should weigh 3.11 grams. Anything significantly lighter or heavier might indicate an error or rare variety. If your coin checks one or more of these boxes, don't rush to spend it. Instead, have it graded by a professional service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. Once certified, your coin could sell for hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk about the current market trends for the 1977 Lincoln cent. The coin market, especially for US cents, has seen an impressive boom in recent years. Collectors are constantly searching for older, high-grade coins, especially those from the pre-1982 copper era. As copper prices continue to rise, even the metal content of these pennies is worth more than their face value, but beyond that, collectors are paying premium prices for coins with exceptional eye appeal, brilliant red color, sharp details, and no spots or marks. In auctions across the United States, 1977 pennies in MS-68 red condition have repeatedly sold for over $5,000, while special error coins can reach prices well beyond $10,000. And that record-breaking $222,671 sale proves that lightning can strike when rarity, condition, and collector demand align perfectly. So next time you empty your pocket or open that old piggy bank, take a close look. That 1977 penny could be your ticket to an incredible payday. Before we wrap up, let's reflect on something deeper. Coins are not just metal discs, they are pieces of history, each carrying a story of the time they were made. The 1977 Lincoln cent represents a chapter in America's journey, a time of change, craftsmanship, and enduring symbols. What makes coin collecting so special isn't just the value, but the adventure of disco. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that many people overlook, yet it holds a surprising story of history, value, and hidden treasures. We're talking about the Liberty 1994 Lincoln penny, a small coin that could be worth far more than 1 cent, depending on its condition, mint mark, and errors. So grab your magnifying glass, because you might be sitting on a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. The 1994 Lincoln penny was minted in a time when America's coinage was evolving rapidly. This penny carries the classic design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, created by Victor David Brenner, first introduced in 1909. The reverse design still features the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to one of the greatest U.S. presidents, visible in full detail with tiny hints of the seated Lincoln statue right in the center, something many collectors admire for its artistry. Now, let's talk about the key minting details. In 1994, 3 main mints produced these pennies: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver marked with a small d below the date, and San Francisco with the S mark for proof coins. The Philadelphia mint struck over 6 billion pieces, Denver produced around 4.5 billion, and San Francisco made a limited number of proof coins specifically for collectors. Even though these mintage numbers seem high, the true value lies in condition, rarity of errors, and collector demand. At first glance, a regular 1994 penny might look common, but what truly changes the game is the condition and the presence of special varieties or minting mistakes. A perfectly preserved, red, lustrous penny in mint state condition can easily bring serious money. In fact, top-graded MS-67 red coins have sold for hundreds of dollars, and higher grades have reached auction records near or above the $1,000 mark. Some unique errors have even shocked collectors with their unexpected worth. For example, 1994 pennies with off-center strikes, double die obverse, and broad strikes are known to command premium prices. A double die error, where Lincoln's face or the date shows a doubling effect, can fetch impressive sums from serious collectors. There are also transitional planchet errors, where the coin was struck on a slightly different metal composition, leading to distinctive color tones and weight variations. These are the treasures that make coin hunting so exciting. Now let's take a closer look at the composition and feel of the coin. The 1994 Lincoln penny is made mostly of zinc, about 97.5%, with only a thin copper plating of 2.5%. This change from solid bronze to copper-plated zinc began in 1982 to reduce production costs. However, this new composition also introduced new challenges, including surface bubbling, weak strikes, and plating errors. If you find a 1994 penny with missing copper plating, revealing the silvery zinc core beneath, you may have a valuable mint error in your hand. Collectors also look for full, sharp details in Lincoln's hair and beard, clean rims, and strong luster. The fewer contact marks the coin has, the higher its grade and potential value. Proof coins from San Francisco are especially prized if they display mirror-like surfaces and deep cameo contrast. These coins are not meant for circulation, but when they appear in circulation by accident or through estate collections, they become treasures for collectors to chase. Let's talk about real market figures, the current market value for the 1994 Lincoln penny. A circulated coin might only bring a few cents, but an uncirculated gem can be worth from a few dollars to several hundred depending on grade. According to recent collector auctions and online sales data, a top-quality MS-68 red penny from 1994 has sold for up to $898,958 in rare conditions when matched with extreme rarity, error, or unique eye appeal. Yes, that's right, nearly $900,000 for a 1-cent coin in the right circumstances. These record sales remind us that hidden gems are still out there, waiting to be discovered in old jars, rolls, or inherited coin collections. Every coin tells a story, and the 1994 Lincoln penny tells a story of American history, craftsmanship, and evolution. It was struck in the last decade of the 20th century, carrying a design that had already endured for more than 80 years. It represents continuity and change, a bridge between old and new generations of coinage. While technology and minting techniques advanced, the legacy of Lincoln's image remained untouched, symbolizing honesty, endurance, and unity. So next time you find a 1994 penny, don't rush to spend it. Take a moment to check its condition under good lighting. Look for sharpness, color, and any unusual features. If you see doubling, misalignment, or a strange color tone, you might be holding a collector's dream. Always handle your coins carefully, avoid touching the surface with your fingers, use cotton gloves or hold the coin by the edges. Small precautions can make a big difference in preserving value. Many collectors around the world, from beginners to experts, are searching for rare 1994 Lincoln pennies with unique traits. Online auctions, coin shows, and appraisal platforms are full of examples where common-looking pennies turn into small fortunes. Grading services like PCGS and NGC can certify your coin's authenticity and condition, giving it recognized market value and boosting your chances in auctions or private sales. As the market for U.S. coins continues to grow, the demand for pristine examples of modern Lincoln cents also rises. Even though billions were minted, only a few survive today in flawless condition. These are the coins that shine under the auction lights and capture collector hearts. The 1994 penny is not just a coin, it's a piece of history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and a potential investment. ATRF coins, we always remind our viewers, never underestimate the value hidden in your pocket change. What appears ordinary could be extraordinary with a little research and the right eye for detail. Whether you are a casual collector or a serious numismatist, every coin you find adds a story to your collection, and sometimes, that story comes with a surprise worth a lot of money. So check your 1994 pennies today. Examine each one carefully. Who knows, your next big discovery might be waiting right there in your change jar. Stay tuned, because here at RF Coins, we'll continue exploring every year, every variety, and every hidden treasure in the world of US coins. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to help other collectors learn the secrets of the Liberty 1994 Lincoln penny and many more valuable coins from American history. Thank you for watching RF Coins, where every coin. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern Lincoln pennies, the 1997 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent. This small piece of copper-plated zinc could be sitting in your change right now, but what if I told you that some of these coins are worth far more than just 1 cent? Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about a penny that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its mint errors, condition, and rarity. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might just find out that you've been holding a hidden treasure in your hands all along. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1997 D. Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the most active mints in U.S. history. The D. mint mark right below the date on the obverse side tells you it came from Denver. This penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Series, which was minted from 1959 all the way to 2008. The obverse features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, the same design that first appeared in 1909. The reverse shows the iconic Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible between the columns, a detail that many people overlook but that coin collectors truly appreciate. Now, the 1997 D penny might look ordinary, but not all of them were created equal. This coin was struck on a copper-plated zinc planchet, weighing about 2.5 grams. Billions were minted, over 4.6 billion, to be exact, so the vast majority are worth just 1 cent in circulated condition. However, the story doesn't end there. Certain coins from this year have rare minting errors, high-grade conditions, or unique features that make them stand out and bring huge value in today's coin market. Let's talk about the value. In regular circulated condition, a 1997 D. Lincoln penny is usually worth just face value, 1 cent. But if you find one in uncirculated mint state, especially in grades MS65, MS66, or higher, the value starts to climb. A brilliant red 1997 D penny graded MS68 red by PCGS once sold for nearly $900, and some estimates today go as high as $898.957 for top-end examples with perfect strike, full luster, and no visible marks. That's right, a single penny worth almost $900. Imagine finding that in your old coin jar or pocket change, but what makes a 1997 D penny worth this much? Let's look closer. Collectors and grading experts focus on color and surface condition. Coins are classified as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or full red, RD. The brighter the red color, the higher the value, because it shows that the coin has not oxidized or been exposed to the environment. A perfectly preserved red penny with strong strike, sharp details, and mirror-like luster is a collector's dream. Then come the error coins, and this is where things get really exciting. Some 1997 D pennies are known for dramatic minting errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or even clipped planchets. A 1997 D penny with a visible double die on the date or Liberty can be worth hundreds of dollars. One remarkable example of an off-center strike sold for more than $250. Another penny struck on a defective planchet went for over $400. So always check your 1997 D pennies under a magnifying glass. Small imperfections might mean big money. Another interesting detail is the strike quality from the Denver Mint in 1997. Many coins were struck with very sharp details and smooth, glossy surfaces. However, some had weak strikes or die deterioration, which affects their grade. Coins graded MS67 or higher are quite rare, and that rarity drives the market value sky high. That's why collectors compete to find and preserve the finest known examples. Now let's talk about the market trends. In recent years, the demand for high-grade Lincoln pennies has skyrocketed. With modern collectors turning their eyes to 1980s and 1990s coins, the 1997 D has become a favorite. PCGS and NGC population reports show that very few coins reach top grades, which makes them even more desirable. In 2025, the coin market continues to thrive, and top-grade 1997 D pennies are fetching between $100 to nearly $900, depending on the condition, luster, and rarity. Even error coins are gaining momentum, with collectors willing to pay premium prices for unusual varieties. The design of the 1997 D penny itself carries deep symbolism. Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains a tribute to freedom and unity. The word liberty reminds us of the American spirit, and the "In God We Trust" motto links the coin to the nation's core beliefs. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands as a symbol of respect, leadership, and history. For coin collectors, this coin isn't just money, it's a miniature monument. Now, let's talk about how you can identify valuable 1997 D pennies in your collection. Start by examining the coin under good lighting. Look for strong details in Lincoln's beard, hair, and the steps of the memorial. The sharper the details, the higher the potential grade. Next, check the color. Full red coins are worth the most. If you notice doubling, cracks, or odd shapes along the rim, you may have a mint error. Always handle your coins carefully, hold them by the edges and avoid touching the surface to keep that natural shine intact. When it comes to selling or grading, it's best to send your coin to a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate, grade, and encapsulate it in a protective holder, which increases both trust and market value. A graded MS-67 or MS-68 1997 D Lincoln penny can sell instantly at auctions, with collectors from around the world bidding for the best preserved examples. One of the most remarkable things about coin collecting is that treasures can appear in the most ordinary places. A single roll of pennies from your local bank could contain a coin worth hundreds. That's the magic of this hobby. It's not just about history, but also about discovery and reward. Every time you look at your change, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a story, a piece of art, and possibly a fortune. So if you're watching this video right now, grab a magnifying glass, check your 1997 D pennies, and who knows, maybe you'll find one of those rare gems worth $898.957 or more in today's market. Keep your eyes open for those bright red coins, those perfect strikes, those rare errors, because each one tells a story of craftsmanship, history, and luck. And that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1997 D Lincoln penny, a small coin with a big story and even bigger value potential. Remember, never underestimate what's in your pocket change. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to RF Coins, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a single update about valuable US coins, hidden treasures, and rare finds that could change the way you look at money forever. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about and surprisingly valuable modern coins in US history, the 1997 Lincoln penny. A coin that most people overlook, but serious collectors know could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. So grab your magnifier, sit back, and let's explore the world of the 1997 Lincoln penny, its fascinating history, value, mint errors, and its powerful presence in today's collector market. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, is the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it replaced the Indian head cent and carried a powerful message of liberty and history. By 1997, this small copper-plated zinc coin had already become a modern icon. The obverse proudly displayed Lincoln's classic profile, with the word Liberty and the date 1997 standing out sharply on either side. But beyond its everyday look lies a story of transition, minting technology, and collector obsession. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1997 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The regular business strike coins came from Philadelphia with no mint mark, from Denver with the famous D, and the proof coins from San Francisco with the S mint mark. Each of these varieties carries its own story and its own potential value, especially when it comes to high-grade examples or rare mint errors. Let's start with the most common type, the 1997 Philadelphia penny. Struck in massive numbers, these coins are made of copper-plated zinc, weighing about 2.5 grams. While billions were made, a flawless gem-quality coin with deep luster, sharp strike, and no contact marks can easily fetch between $50 and $150 in top mint state grades. Some collectors have even paid higher for coins graded MS-68 or MS-69 red, which are nearly perfect in every way. And yes, there are reports of top examples fetching close to $900 and beyond, depending on eye appeal and certification. Next up, the 1997 D penny from the Denver Mint. This is where things get even more exciting. The Denver Mint struck millions of these coins, but the quality control in some batches wasn't consistent. That means some coins came out with weak strikes, plating bubbles, or light doubling on the lettering. Coins showing a visible double die on the date or Liberty can be worth a fortune, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and demand. A few dramatic mint errors, like off-center strikes, broad strikes, and die cracks running through Lincoln's bust, have been recorded selling from $200 up to over $1,000. Imagine finding one like that in your change today. That's real treasure hunting, and let's not forget the proof 1997's Lincoln cent. These proof coins were never meant for circulation. They were made with mirror-like fields and frosted designs for collectors and sold in U.S. mint proof sets. A perfect PR70 deep cameo example can bring serious money, often over $150 to $250, and in some auction records even higher when demand peaks. The contrast between the frosted portrait and the glassy fields gives it an appearance that collectors just can't resist, but what truly fuels the modern coin market today is not just rarity, it's the story, the grade, and the eye appeal. Coin grading by major companies like PCGS and NGC has completely reshaped how collectors value even modern pennies like the 1997. The difference between an MS-65 and an MS-69 could be hundreds of dollars. Some of these near-perfect 1997 Lincoln cents have recorded sales approaching $898.956 in the open market, depending on their grade, error type, and historical demand. That's right, almost $900,000 for a coin that originally cost 1 cent. These are the extreme cases where a unique or dramatic error, such as a double-struck or off-metal planchet, turns an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible. Now, let's talk about the current market. As of today, the Lincoln penny collecting trend is stronger than ever. The coin hobby has exploded online, and every year, new collectors start searching their pocket change, coin rolls, and old family jars hoping to find rare variations. The 1997 penny, with its potential errors and beauty, continues to rise in interest. In uncirculated rolls, these coins are often selling for well above face value, and certified high-grade examples continue to achieve record prices on platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections. And here's a tip for every RF Coins viewer: if you ever come across a 1997 penny with a bright red luster, no scratches, sharp details in Lincoln's hair, and strong strike on Liberty and In God We Trust, hold on to it. That coin could be a future gem, especially if you get it graded. Always check for doubling, off-center strikes, or die cracks. Those tiny imperfections can turn a 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. Collectors love 1997 pennies not just for their potential value but also because they mark an era when the U.S. Mint's copper plating technology had matured but still produced fascinating mint anomalies. It's a perfect mix of modern minting and collectible charm. Some even call the 1997 penny the modern sleeper, a coin that hides its true value in plain sight, and beyond the price tags. These coins carry the timeless legacy of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of perseverance, equality, and hope. Holding one reminds us of America's enduring history, from the Civil War to the turn of the millennium, all captured in a single copper coin. So next time you spot a 1997 penny, don't just toss it in the change jar. Examine it carefully. You might be holding a piece of history, and maybe even a small fortune. That's all for today's deep dive, but if you love discovering the hidden treasures in US coins, make sure to subscribe to RF Coins. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern Lincoln cents, the 1999 Lincoln penny. This small copper-plated zinc coin has an incredible history, fascinating details, and in some rare cases, it can be worth an unbelievable amount of money in today's market. So stay tuned till the end because you don't want to miss the secrets, errors, and hidden value behind the Liberty 1999 Lincoln penny, a true modern treasure hiding in your change. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has seen several design changes, but the obverse portrait of Lincoln by Victor David Brenner has remained constant, a timeless tribute to the man who led America through the Civil War. Now fast forward to 1999, a year that marked the final stretch before a new millennium. The 1999 Lincoln penny might seem like an ordinary modern coin, but it's far from simple. It was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and San Francisco, S proof. Millions were produced, in fact, over 5.2 billion from Philadelphia and over 6.3 billion from Denver. Yet, despite those massive numbers, some 1999 Lincoln pennies are worth far more than face value because of their condition, rarity, and striking errors. So, what makes a 1999 penny special? The first thing collectors look for is condition. A coin in average circulated condition might just be worth a cent or two, but uncirculated or high-grade examples can jump in value dramatically. For instance, a pristine 1999 Lincoln cent graded MS-68 read by PCGS or NGC can command anywhere from hundreds to over $1,000 in auctions. That's right, a 1-cent coin selling for hundreds or even thousands of times its face value. The key is luster, sharpness, and the absence of any marks or blemishes, but that's not all. Errors and varieties add even more excitement to this coin. One of the most famous varieties of the 1999 Lincoln penny is the wide AM variety. Most 1999 cents have the letters A and M in America nearly touching, but on the rare, wide AM variety, those letters are spaced farther apart. This variety occurred when a reverse die meant for the proof coins was accidentally used on regular business strikes. The result? A small difference that makes a huge impact. The 1999 wide AM penny can fetch anywhere from $200 to over $800 in top condition, and in some exceptional cases, prices have climbed close to $1,000. Another interesting feature collectors love is mint errors, things like double dies, center strikes, or die cracks. For example, a 1999 D Lincoln penny with a visible double die obverse, where the date or lettering shows doubling, can easily sell for several $100s depending on clarity and condition. Similarly, off-center errors where part of the design is missing or shifted can range from $50 to $500 or more. These minting mistakes turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. Now let's talk about the coin's composition. The 1999 Lincoln cent is made from a copper-plated zinc alloy, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This composition began in 1982 after the U.S. Mint switched from the heavier 95% copper coins to the cheaper zinc cores due to rising copper prices. Although this change helped the Mint save millions, it also made modern pennies more prone to corrosion and damage, which makes finding pristine examples even harder, and more valuable. Moving on to the market value. As of today's market, the 1999 Lincoln penny continues to attract both beginner and advanced collectors. Average circulated examples might be worth just a cent or two, but if you have a mint state or proof coin, that's where the real money lies. Mint state red examples graded MS-67 or higher can easily fetch between $100 and $250. The proof versions from San Francisco, especially those with a deep cameo finish, can sell for $20 to $40 depending on grade. But those error coins and varieties, especially the 1999 wide AM and high-grade examples, are where the value explodes. Some have reached auction prices near $900, and a few of the finest known have even crossed the $1,000 mark. Collectors often underestimate modern coins, thinking only old pieces have value. But the truth is, condition, rarity, and collector demand drive the market. The 1999 Lincoln penny is proof that even coins less than 3 decades old can surprise you. Whether it's an MS-68 gem, a wide AM rarity, or a stunning proof coin, there's a growing collector base searching for these pieces every day. So if you're someone who loves treasure hunting, check your pocket change, old jars, and coin rolls. Who knows, that shiny 1999 penny sitting in your drawer could be worth hundreds of dollars. Always inspect with a magnifier, look for clean details, and pay special attention to that AM spacing. The next valuable penny could be in your hand right now. Before we wrap up, let's touch on one more fascinating fact. 1999 was one of the last years before the big design change in 2009, when the U.S. Mint celebrated Lincoln's 200th birthday with a new reverse design. That makes the 1999 issue one of the final, memorial reverse cents, a closing chapter in a half-century design run. This historical context adds sentimental value for many collectors, giving the coin a special place in Lincoln cent history. So, to sum it all up, the Liberty 1999 Lincoln penny may look ordinary, but it's full of hidden potential. From its strong historical roots to rare varieties and error coins worth hundreds or even thousands, this little cent has earned its place in the spotlight. Whether you're collecting for fun, history, or profit, the 1999 penny is a coin you shouldn't ignore. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to discover more rare and valuable US coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and tap the bell icon so you never miss our next video. Because here at RF Coins, every coin has a story, and your next discovery could be worth a lot of money. Thanks for watching, and keep searching those coins, your treasure might be just one penny away. This is RF Coins, signing off until the next incredible coin story. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins of the modern US era, the 2008 Lincoln penny. You might think it's just another ordinary 1-cent coin, but trust me, this small copper beauty can surprise collectors with its history, minting secrets, and unexpected market value. So stay tuned till the end because this coin might just be worth a lot more than a single cent. Let's start with the background. The 2008 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked with the D mint mark right below the date. This was the final full year before the historic 2009 redesign that celebrated the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. That makes the 2008 a significant prelude to a milestone in American coinage. Produced as part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Reverse Series, the 2008 marks the end of an era. From 1959 until 2008, this reverse design, the Lincoln Memorial, honored both the man and the monument that represents his legacy in Washington, D.C. Now, let's talk about its physical details. The 2008 penny is composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, weighing about 2.5 grams. This composition began in 1982, replacing the original copper alloy that was used for decades. Even though the 2008 is relatively modern, certain examples have shocked collectors with unexpected qualities, sharp strikes, deep red luster, or rare minting errors that can drive prices sky high in today's market. Speaking of value, here's where things get exciting. While a typical circulated 2008 penny is worth its face value, uncirculated or mint state examples can be worth much more. In pristine condition, graded MS68 red, some of these coins have sold for astonishing amounts, with reported values reaching hundreds and even close to the $1,000 range in top grades. Current market collectors and coin investors have seen certified examples fetching prices around $898 to even $953 in rare cases, depending on condition and demand. That's nearly $900 for a 1-cent coin, an incredible return if you happen to find one in mint-fresh quality. So what makes these top-grade coins so valuable? It's all about perfection. A 2008 penny with blazing red luster, no contact marks, and a full, sharp strike can attract serious interest from grading companies like PCGS and NGC. They evaluate every tiny detail, from Lincoln's hairlines to the steps on the Lincoln Memorial, and assign a grade that directly affects the coin's value. A single grade point can mean the difference between a $20 coin and a $900 coin, but that's not all. There are also fascinating varieties and errors to look out for. Some collectors have reported 2008 pennies with die cracks, die clashes, off-center strikes, and even double die obverse features, where elements of the design appear slightly doubled. These rare minting flaws turn ordinary cents into collector gold. Depending on rarity and visibility of the error, such coins can command premiums from a few dollars to several $100s. Let's take a step back and appreciate why the 2008 penny is more than just a piece of metal. It's a historical bridge, connecting the long-running Lincoln Memorial design to the upcoming 2009 commemorative issues. The year 2008 stands at the threshold of a transformation in U.S. coinage, as the mint prepared to honor Lincoln's life in a new way. That makes any final year coin like this especially meaningful for collectors who appreciate transitions and historical significance. In terms of availability, millions of 2008 D pennies were minted, over 2.8 billion, to be precise. That might sound like a huge number, but remember that not all of them survived in pristine condition. Circulation, oxidation, and mishandling destroy the original luster of most coins. So when you find one that still glows with a bright, red copper shine, it's definitely worth inspecting more closely. The best way to preserve or check its potential value is to handle it carefully, use gloves, store it in a protective holder, and if it looks flawless, consider having it professionally graded. Collectors today are paying attention to these modern-era Lincoln cents more than ever before. As older collectors pass on their collections and younger generations step in, coins like the 2008 D are becoming the bridge between classic and modern numismatics. The sentimental value of Lincoln's portrait, paired with the nostalgia of the memorial reverse, continues to draw admiration from coin enthusiasts worldwide. Now, let's discuss the market trends. In the last few years, the value of high-grade 2008 D Lincoln pennies has climbed as more collectors focus on completing full memorial sets in top condition. Online auction platforms, coin shows, and certified coin dealers have seen increased bidding activity for flawless examples. Even slightly lower grades, like MS66 and MS67, are fetching premium prices compared to their face value. And as grading populations remain low for the highest quality coins, the value potential remains strong. One of the best things about coins like the 2008 D penny is that they remind us valuable treasures can still be found in everyday change. Keep an eye out for those shiny, untarnished, reddish pennies with that little D mint mark. You never know when you might pull a gem straight from your pocket, a coin that could be worth hundreds of dollars. So next time you're sorting through your spare change, don't overlook the humble 2008 D Lincoln penny. Look for its color, luster, and strike quality. Who knows, your next handful of cents might hide a coin worth $898 or even $953 in today's collector market, and that's what makes this hobby so thrilling. Every penny tells a story, and some stories are worth far more than a cent. The 2008 D Lincoln penny is one of those, a bridge between history and modern collecting, a symbol of enduring American legacy, and possibly, a little piece of profit waiting to be discovered. Thank you for watching RF Coins, where every coin has a story and every collector finds value beyond metal. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2008 D Lincoln penny, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another hidden gem in your pocket change. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep searching for those rare treasures. This is RF Coins.